My father, he died in 1992. He was only 47 years old. I think I have told you in another video. But there's another perspective to it that affected me personally. It took a very strong toll on the whole family. My father was a nice guy, and he left a big void in all of us. Of course, he also left a company, and it's the whole thing. House, everything, my mother, my two younger siblings, everything. What I haven't realized before many years after was that at that point, when I look back in time specifically, right? At that point, my health started to decline. And it's the declining health I want to talk to you about, not only about me, but in general, but I'm using myself as the example for this, because I have lived this. So I start feeling, I had knee pains from before because I had a very bad knee injury on a skiing trip a couple of years before that. But in general, my knee pain started to make more pain, more aches. Started with one knee, moved to both knees. I was in a relationship that took a great toll on me, emotionally and physically. 3 children. Of course, we loved them, everything good, but it took a toll on me as a human being. Losing my father, I really was losing him, right? Missing him badly. I called him before. I called him every single day. Many times I would, go to the phone and, he's not there. Can't call him. So it was tough. It was tough on both me and my wife. She didn't see how bad it really was. She realized it many years later. But the thing is that my health in general just went downhill. And I tried to keep up my career. I tried to keep up life in general. We had many good friends. I had extremely nice parents, in-laws. But it wasn't the same. And I was on a constant pressure, constant stress. I didn't feel good. I started to living less healthy than I know I should. I know better. I really know better. But I didn't do it because I felt so sorry for myself. So what came was I was having a company under the Science Park, or it's part of University of Southern Denmark. We were doing things with fiber optics and studying fiber optics and so on. It's a topic for another day. But what I found out that my health kept declining. I had more and more days off work because I was really having so much pain. I started more and more pain medication. Ended up on 19 painkillers a day. I was devastated. I couldn't find out why. I was really trying my best, and it only went one way. So one day I met this specialist, and he went with me for a couple of months, and he diagnosed me with fibromyalgia as a severe case of fibromyalgia, because I have overlooked physical pain since I was 18, like bad physical pain, knee pain, injuries, falling down twice from 6 meters. And I had knee operations. It only went one way. When I went to the doctor and asked him about my knee pain, he said, "You're just overweight." Overweight? That's why I have knee pain. Yeah. Okay, what about the pain in my shoulders, in my neck, my lower back? Yeah, it's overweight. It was the only thing he could think of. So, of course, it didn't bring me much comfort. One day I went to him. I had a severe panic attack, maybe the only one I ever had in my life. I have had a big quarrel with a business partner, and it was too much for me to bear. So I went to my doctor and he tested my heart and everything, and he said, now you really need to pull yourself together and do something about it. I didn't get the message though. I survived that one, and I kept pushing. So I had to stop my project at the university. I was almost losing everything I had with the family. So we ended up moving to Spain, southern Spain, just to get some sunshine, to get dry climate, and it also helped on my declining health. But it wasn't really the trick. Back then in Spain, I decided that I wanted to do more for health, more for my pain relief clinic that I have wanted it to do for so many years. And I've been studying, like every off hour I had, I was interested in how to take away pain, how to live more healthy. But I was so smart, right? I didn't know what to do. I knew how other people should live, but not me. I was a special case. All the others, I could help them. I could help them take the pain away, but not me. It was something very unique, right? Right. As I've told you before, my first beloved wife, she passed away, and I met my current wife, and I started feeling better. Not easy in the beginning. I changed my life, as I have told you. I got my first full knee replacement surgery, and that was a blessing, like really a blessing, because I would be so sick. I was also getting more overweight again. I actually topped at about 128 kilos. So I wasn't in any good shape. I felt horrible, a lot of pain all the time. I would even have all the painkillers my body could accept by any means. I would lay in bed at night twisting like a worm. I would be cold, I would be hot, I would almost like having fever, right? Nothing helped. Nothing did me any good. Not until that I really took a decisive decision, like, now it's enough. I told you in another video that I sold my houses, sold everything. I started feeling better. And a couple of years later, I got my second knee replacement surgery because the knees was completely and utterly destroyed. And since then, after I took that decision, my health and everything has just increased. So at this point, I really feel much better. I can feel if I stress too much, if I don't take care of myself, my health is going down again. So, and what I want to tell you, I want you to take away from this is that just because you are overweight, because you have a lot of pain in the whole body, and maybe some people unintentionally evil says, why don't you pull yourself together? Why don't you go on a diet? Why don't you do more sports? Why don't you? Did they ever ask you, how do you feel? How do you really feel? What is it that your body is trying to tell you? Have you listened? Because when the body does all these things, it's under a constant attack of cortisol. Constantly. There's something wrong there. Right? So, don't blame yourself. Blame yourself for not listening to yourself. Let others judge you. Let others blame you. It doesn't matter. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know. They haven't tried you. They haven't tried to live in your shoes for 2 weeks. They haven't. I have said to so many people, we can change lives today. You take my pain, my discomfort, and I take your life. I'll be happy to do that any day of the week. And then they're like, nah, maybe not. Maybe not. They don't want to have that pain all the time. So when you are fighting with obesity, of course we know that if you eat too much and move too little, you will grow. But some people actually don't eat a lot and they still cannot lose weight. They are struggling. And that's a lot of stress, hormones and so on. We talked about it before. That keeps that extra weight because it's not safe to let go. And when it's not safe to let go, we keep the struggle, we keep the protective layer around us. And then when you eat unhealthy, and we all know what that is, when you eat unhealthy, you intoxicate your brain with sugar, vegetable oils, all these kind of things. Too many chips, too many French fries, all this shit, it goes and kills your brain. It's really destroying. It oxidizes your brain and your whole body. When you want to make the challenge, when you have capacity, and maybe you need help, I mean, that's what I do for people, helping people to reset the system, to feel better. And what happens then when we calm down the stress levels, when we calm down, could be past experiences from childhood. I've told you stories about that. Then the whole system balances out. You feel better. You don't need to comfort eat because you feel better. You don't need to stress about things. You can do things for yourself. And then all of a sudden, it's not so painful to go to the gym because you have a little bit more feeling about yourself, a good feeling. And you can build up. It reminds me of one day I was in a gym. We were 3 or 4 bulky guys like me, and just having fun, lifting some heavy weights and playing around, being just stupid guys, right? Adults. And next to us sat a little apple-shaped young woman. And she was apple-shaped. Warm, 2 legs. And I went over to her and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, can I just be allowed to commend you for being here today?" Excuse me, what are you talking about? I said, "You know what? These muscle bundles over there, I don't respect them. I respect you." Why? Because for you coming here to the gym today, it was a struggle, it was a battle, it was like breaking out of a bank box, breaking out of a prison, being indoor in your own house. Coming here, you knew it would feel bad. You didn't feel welcome because you didn't feel welcome. It was not because of us. It was not because of the gym, but you felt horrible going here, being with all these, many of them skinny people and all these things. And here you are. So I respect you and I commend you. You are doing excellent. You, in fact, are inspiring me to do better. And tears started to build up in her eyes. Okay, she said. She went down to, I saw her, she went down to the other end of the gym and stood talking to a gentleman, crying. And a couple of minutes later, this gentleman comes up to me. He said, "Hello, I am so-and-so." "Hello, I'm John, nice to meet you." "What did you just say to my wife?" I said, "I commend her for coming here." She's crying now because you're the first one who talked nice to her, even though she feels horrible going to the gym. She didn't want to come with me today. I didn't want to go today. Look at me. He said, "I'm obese also." But you're the first one who really genuinely saw us and saw my wife and respected her. Thank you, sir. Time goes by, they end up being my clients. We actually end up being private friends. Because it started with me seeing through her pain, seeing a person who felt bad, who felt scared, who just wanted to improve her life. So instead of looking at someone in the gym and condemning them, looking down on them, you don't know what the fuck pain they are going through. Go over and say hello, nice to see you. I hope you endure, you are doing the right thing. It's so important. Because I wasn't ready back then to go to a gym and be healthy and lift heavy weights and so on, like I am today. I do it 5 times a week now, and I feel fantastic. But I also remember my history, my past, and I want you to try to think about this. Even if someone is obese, looking bad, all these kind of things, try to understand why, instead of judging them for eat less, move more. It's not always, I promise you, I have seen it too many times, it's not always the answer.